Well, very good Tuesday morning to you guys. Hopefully your day is off to a great start. Happy Valentine's Day to you. A lot of stories that we're watching at this 10 o'clock hour right now. Of course, we're going to have a check of your forecast coming up as well. If you are tuning in to us live from Facebook, want to give you a heads up. If you say hello in the chat box, I would love to give you a shout out and tell us where you're watching from. Go on and check in with us. I've got all of those top stories that you need this morning, and many of them that we are staying on top of. This first one, a house fire that displaces a father and 8 children. Now, this story is something else right here because in order for 2 of those children to be saved and to find safety, they ended up having to jump from the top story of the level. By the way, a lot of laughter in the newsroom because our morning editorial meeting is going on right now. So just to clarify that, that's what happens when we're right here in the center of it all. All right, let's take a look at a lot of this stuff that we, some video from earlier this morning, just showing you this family now trying to figure out what they're going to be able to do. This is after that fire destroyed their home. So a father and his 8 children were on the inside of this home when that fire started in the overnight hours. Now, here's what's interesting. The father says that it started downstairs in the kitchen area. His 2 sons, ages 5 and 6, were upstairs at the time, and they had to jump 2 stories to safety. One of his other children broke his finger, but thankfully, everyone was able to make it out alive. Wow. Now, he talked about what that moment was like when he couldn't get upstairs to help his kids without the help of firefighters. Here's what he had to say.
And they was upstairs banging on the window saying help, and that's the worst feeling for a parent. You can't do nothing to save your kids.
Bless his heart. Just so glad that everything happened the way that it did as far as them being able to get out, be safe, no injuries. Outside of that, the broken finger, but I think many will probably take that over anything else. I'm just so glad that everybody was able to make it out alive. So of course, we're going to stay on top of this story. We can tell you that the Red Cross has now got involved as far as trying to help this family out and find them for a place, to get them a place where they could stay. But again, that house fire displacing father and his 8 children on this Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, it'll be one for them to remember, but definitely one that I believe that they can find the blessing in just being able to be alive right now. Another story that we are watching this morning, an officer charged in connection with a teen's murder. Now, we told you about this story, really these startling developments. Susana Morales, so you probably remember that name. You've heard that name definitely in these coming days. You're going to hear that name, and I'm sure you've heard the name recently as well, because this is just one of those names where you hear of an awful story happening to a 16-year-old who comes up missing. She just disappears. Nobody really has any answers as to what is going on, but investigators now getting a little closer into this investigation. And we can tell you that an officer has been charged, a former officer, I should say, in connection with the teen's murder. So here's the man right here. Here he is. This is 22-year-old Miles Bryant, now facing charges in connection to Morales' death. And according to a statement, his bosses at the Doraville Police Department, they got word yesterday afternoon that Gwinnett authorities were serving felony warrants on Bryant. Well, he's charged with concealing the death of another and false report of a crime in connection with the death of Susana Morales. Yeah, the 16-year-old who you just saw there, she went missing last July as she was walking to her home between Norcross and Lilburn. Her remains were found last week roughly 20 miles away in some woods near Decula. Now, a lot of people have a lot of questions about this story. There's a lot of questions surrounding who was this former officer? Why were the 2 connected? How was she actually killed? Because you just know that she disappeared, and we know that her body was found. Still a lot of questions that need some answers this morning. But now that family getting a little bit of closure, knowing that someone is connected and that she didn't just vanish. Obviously some other things on top of that as well. So this is something we're going to be staying on top of, and one that I know we're going to get some more updates on throughout the day. So one that we'll be sure to make sure you have our First Alert app handy for you, and of course also our Atlanta News First app, because it is free, and whenever we get those new updates, we'll be sure to bring them to you and send out a push alert right there to the palm of your hand. By the way, as we get ready for this next story, I do want to say good morning. I'm taking a look over here at the chat box. Michael Baxter tuning in. Always great to have you, sir. Thank you so much. And then Wesley always checking in from Ackworth, Georgia. We appreciate you watching this morning as well. The celebration of life for Michael Gidwan is going to take place today at 2 p.m. This is one of those situations where also loved ones still have some questions and they're wondering why somebody could do something like this. You've seen this face. Michael Gidwan, unfortunately, was the beloved nightclub owner who was shot and killed at the Republic Lounge in West Midtown. Now, that celebration of life is set for today at 2 p.m. This is at Ebenezer Baptist Church, and police suspect a man by the name of Jonathan Soto. Him right there on your screen is wanted in connection to Gidwan's death. Now, the family is offering a $100,000 reward for any information that could help lead authorities to Soto. He's on the run. People are wondering, where is he? If you know anything that could help investigators, be sure to give police a call, because I'm sure they would really appreciate that as they're trying to get that man off of the streets. Also, in your other news this morning, let's talk about this one. We're already talking about the 2024 presidential election. Nikki Haley announcing her presidential bid in a new video. Now, the former South Carolina governor, Nikki Haley, throwing her hat in the ring. She's challenging her one-time boss, former President Donald Trump, for that 2024 Republican presidential nomination. Haley served as Trump's ambassador to the United Nations. But again, Nikki Haley announcing this morning that she's going to be running for president. There, there was some talk about this, and you may remember, because she had been hinting that she was going to be making some crazy announcement on February the 15th. Well, I guess Valentine's Day might have been the day for her to do it, or at least that's what she felt like. So this is a story that we'll be seeing kind of what comes of this. Obviously, a lot of changes right now between the House and Republican control and the Senate, and all these different controls and whatnot between parties. So we'll have to see what comes from that with Nikki Haley. Yes, so we'll be staying on top of that throughout the day as well. One last story. We can't forget that it is Valentine's Day. Hopefully you've got your boo thing or your spouse or your significant other what they deserve. Maybe with some flowers, maybe some chocolate, maybe a Louis Vuitton bag. Oh, that was getting a little fancy right there, okay? Either way, make sure you show them some love. And if you don't have a Valentine, that's all good too. Here's the thing. It's happening today. There's going to be a group wedding ceremony that's going to be kicking off at Piedmont Park at 4 o'clock. And the event is called Mary We. It's going to be including entertainment, dancing, a wedding portrait, a few guests, an open bar. And the cost of the wedding license is included. Now, here's the thing. This is if you are getting married. I just want to be very clear, because I know you heard open bar and you heard dancing and entertainment. You said, wait a minute, I might want to come on out there myself. I don't blame you. But no, this is for those who are getting married. We do have more information about this on our website at letternewsfirst.com. And of course, some other things that are going to be going around in the metro regarding the, Valentine's Day and how folks are going to be celebrating. All right, so we've got the one and only Courtney Jacobazzi who's coming in here. So Courtney, come on in, because I have a little question that I need to ask you really quick. Let me try to get this off the screen. Okay, and let's share the screen. So there we are. Okay. Yeah, Courtney, she's a little shorter than me, but it's all good. It's all good. We got your box for you. Don't worry. And just say, Valentine's Day. If there was one way, and I know your boo, he may be watching or he may see this, but I'm just asking, if there's one thing that a woman wants on Valentine's Day, what is it?
I always say I like a good dinner. It can be homemade now.
Okay.
It can be like steak at home or like a good pasta dish at home.
Okay.
But I like a good dinner and like a glass of wine. Like I feel like if you came home with a bottle of wine and some dinner plans, that's all. Yeah.
So it doesn't require much, because you may be saying, well, I tried to make a reservation and they didn't have any. Well, that may be because you waited too late. But we're not going to talk about that part. But we will just say that there are other creative ways that you can, make sure you show your significant other some love, and lots of them that you can do for semi-cheap too.
Right.
Not saying it's the cheapest, but it's,
Exactly.
save a couple of bucks.
I say I'm a firm believer. Dylan and I did our Valentine's Day last week, because I don't like going out on Valentine's Day because it's just
way too many people.
Madness. So normally when we celebrate on Valentine's Day, we just do dinner at home, and that's perfectly enough. Maybe he'll bring me some flowers or something. That's usually how it goes.
Dylan,
and
did you hear that?
Okay with that.
Okay, I was just making sure Dylan. Well, we're days away from having a baby,
say,
so
it's a different
we're on
story
the
this year.
inside. So we will be doing the whole romantic thing here on the inside at our place. That is the plan. But I've got a couple of gifts I got to bring the wifey on my way home. So we're gonna make all that happen. And speaking of like this perfect Valentine's Day weather, it doesn't matter if you're on the inside, if you're on the outside. It's just such a great day for sure for Valentine's Day plans.
That's right. I suggest you get outside and enjoy it today. It's going to be beautiful. So we're going to talk about it. We'll pull up the camera there. Thank you very much.
All right, now.
I'm going to get my box going.
Let's get your box ready for you, Courtney.
Knelt down and got that. How gentlemanlike of you. Because now I'm going to actually be an appropriate height for you guys. But yeah, it's going to be beautiful today. Right now we have a couple of clouds building over in Marietta. This is over Marietta Square. I'm sure a lot of people probably going to be headed out this way later today. Lots of wonderful restaurants out in Marietta Square. Overall, a really nice not afternoon yet. It is still the morning, isn't it? Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Hopefully, you can get out and enjoy the day today, whether your plans for Valentine's Day are maybe just having dinner at home, or maybe you are heading out. I would suggest if you're having dinner at home, maybe go out on your balcony if you're lucky enough to have one, your back porch, maybe even just hang out anywhere outside today. It's going to be wonderful. We don't get a lot of February days like this, so we're going to talk about it. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know your Valentine's Day plans in the comments too, for any of you watching on our streaming services, or you can comment. Would love to hear what you guys have planned today. Like I said, I've always been like a firm believer that avoid the chaos of the crazy restaurants. But hey, you know what? If that's your thing, I commend you for it. All right, so a really nice day out there. Again, you're looking over Marietta Square, and enjoy it because we do have some changes on the way that will start tomorrow. We'll have a few showers tomorrow for Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, we have a first alert because a cold front will move through really after sunset on Thursday into early morning on Friday. So that will bring rain and storms late, and then maybe a few rumbles of thunder very early on Friday, but for the most part, just rain. We're going to talk more about the potential maybe for an isolated severe storm or two, but we'll talk about that in just a couple minutes. I wanted to start with that off the top so you know what is to come in this video, but overall, or in this stream, I should say. But overall, enjoy today because it's just going to be wonderful. So let's talk about it, right? We're in the mid to upper 40s and low 50s out there. Atlanta's already at 56 degrees, so we are warming very quickly now that the sun is up. But still pretty chilly, so if you're about to head out the door, if you haven't done so yet, maybe you're going to go out and run some errands, take the dog for a walk. Overall, it's a chilly start to the day, so you'll want to grab at least a light jacket, but you won't need that through the afternoon. Temperatures today are going to climb near 70 degrees. It's going to be fantastic. So this afternoon, we hit our high temperature around 3-4 o'clock. Maybe you're going to happy hour this afternoon with your Valentine. It's going to be just wonderful. And then 50s through the evening. So we'll have clouds build tonight that will act as a blanket, keep us a little warmer through the evening hours. So if you are heading out to any dinners, here's a look at kind of your hourly day planner for your Valentine's Day. Of course, breakfast time already over, but like I said, if you're heading to happy hour 4 to 6 p.m., be in the upper 60s, and then a late dinner tonight, maybe around 8-9 o'clock, will be in the mid to upper 50s. So you won't need the coat or anything like that for any of your outfits tonight. Maybe just a light sweater or a light jacket over any of your dresses for later. For the guys, maybe, yeah, just a light sweater to wear tonight. As we head into tomorrow, here's the few showers I was talking about. You'll notice cloudier skies tomorrow. We'll still be plenty warm with temperatures in the mid 60s, but just a couple of light showers. This is around your morning commute tomorrow, 8 a.m., so you might need to use the windshield wipers. If you want to send the kids to school with the rain jacket just to keep them extra dry, that's fine too, but definitely not an overwhelming rain chance. Now notice as we head into early Thursday, we'll have rain and storms to our north, and then that ultimately moves in later in the evening. Here's 10 o'clock. Where we're going to be watching is mainly northwest Georgia, so our far northwestern counties, and then our far western counties. So that is, if you are 75, if you take 75 and split the state in half, and you're west of 75, that's where we're really going to be focusing our attention rather for severe weather. Again, the threat is not overwhelming. In fact, Ella and I have been looking at kind of the dynamics of our atmosphere as this system rolls through, out ahead of this system, and it's just not looking super impressive. And that's partially thanks to the timing of all of this. So because this is moving through late in the evening, we're not going to have a lot of that energy from the daytime in place. If this was coming through in the heat of the day, we'd probably be talking a completely different story, but we don't have a lot of wind shear, which is that turning of the winds with height in the atmosphere. We don't have a lot of energy, so that just ultimately depreciates our severe threat. Again, this front will move in as we head through the overnight hours, so as you're sleeping Friday or Thursday night into Friday morning, you might be woken up by a couple rumbles of thunder and some heavy rain on your roof, but overall, the severe threat looks very isolated. Again, up towards Rome, that's where we're going to be looking for the potential for maybe a strong 2 severe storm. That's where our greatest threat lies, is in far northwest Georgia, definitely back out in Alabama, because that front's going to be moving through that state during prime heating hours. We could maybe have an isolated strong storm as far east as Metro Atlanta. Under a level 1 of 5 threat, but again, the threat looks low. It mainly looks to be a damaging wind threat and heavy rain. The tornado threat looks pretty much slim to none. Really, we're gonna go with none. It's gonna be, of course, when you have thunderstorms, you're gonna have lightning, gusty wind, and any severe storms, we're talking 60-mile-per-hour winds, and any stronger storms, we're talking more 40 to 50. So that's possible, again, really starting around 10 o'clock at night on Thursday, through the early morning on Friday. Everything should clear by mid-morning on Friday. Most of us are going to experience that heavy rainfall, and the wind will pick up regardless as that front moves through. But when it comes to any kind of strong storm, again, that looks pretty isolated at best for us through the overnight hours. So let's take you even further into time. Here comes that front again late Thursday into Friday morning. Could have a few lingering showers for the morning commute. Now, our higher resolution models, which gives you kind of a better painting of what exactly is going to happen and where the rain is going to set up, those only go out until very early Friday morning right now. So what you're looking at right now, the lower resolution models, which go out farther, so they can give us a better idea of what's happening further out in the future, the resolution isn't that good. So the leading edge of that front by 8 a.m. is south of the perimeter. So we're talking more places like Butts County, Lamar County, Henry County. You might have some rain for your morning commute on on Friday. But as we head into the mid-morning hours, closer to lunchtime, we all clear out, skies clear along with it, and very cold air is going to spill in. Our temperatures are going to go from being in the 70s on Thursday to only the low 50s on Friday. So very, very cold air will move in, and I'll show you the 7-day in just a second, because Saturday morning is going to be frigid, everyone. So again, kind of to recap for you, we're watching for maybe an isolated severe storm Thursday night into early Friday morning. We do have a first alert for that, so we're letting you know right now, before you go to bed on Thursday, you'll want to have our first alert weather app, because if we do manage to have a severe storm, while that severe threat looks underwhelming, it is still possible that we have a severe storm. So you'll want to have a way to receive weather warnings, something that'll wake you up in the middle of the night so that you know that there's severe weather in your area. It's important to know. So when you go to bed Thursday, make sure that you have your phones on and your phones charged just in case we get a severe storm. Again, not worried about a tornado threat necessarily, but definitely some gusty wind and heavy rain. And then that rain moves out Friday morning. It should clear for most of us by 8 a.m. But if you're south of Atlanta, you might still have a few showers around, so that could cause for a little bit of a messy commute Friday morning. We're going to wake up in the 20s on Saturday. So that forecast temperature for the overnight low is for Atlanta. So you're gonna have to subtract several degrees for our suburbs. So mid-20s, low 20s for the mountains. It's gonna be very cold Saturday and probably still a little breezy, so you might factor in a wind chill for that. Low 50s Saturday afternoon, but mostly sunny. It's gonna be really nice, just chilly. And then Sunday we rebound back into the 60s. Monday we're back in the upper 60s already. So for February, this is fantastic. Ella was talking about it. Normally February is a pretty gloomy month, but that has not been the case for us. We've had our fair share of gloomy days, but a lot of them were in January. February has actually been pretty pleasant, with the exception of just a couple of days that have been cloudy and cold and rainy. So enjoy today. It's going to be wonderful. We'll start to see an increase in cloud cover later tonight, but if you have any Valentine's Day plans, it's going to be fantastic. Circle Thursday and Friday on your calendar. Again, for most of the day Thursday, we're going to be dry and warm. It's going to feel spring-like out there, and then we're going to have a spring-like system move through. But thankfully, because of the timing, our severe threat looks very isolated and underwhelming, but we still could have an isolated strong to severe storm late Thursday. We'll put that time frame between around 10 p.m. Thursday into around, we'll say, like 4 a.m. Friday, because I think that severe threat should dwindle as that front quickly moves through the morning. We're mainly going to be looking along 75 points west, so closer to the Alabama-Georgia line you live, the greater your severe threat is going to be. Again, still low, but you just have that heightened chance the closer to the Alabama-Georgia line you have, because that front will still have at least a little bit of energy to work with earlier in the evening. But still, can't stress enough, low. Sound like a broken record yet? Yeah, but still a first alert. You still want to be hyper aware of the forecast. Could maybe have a few lingering showers into the morning commute Friday, especially if you're south of Atlanta. And then we look ahead to a very cold weekend. So get ready for another cold weekend. But this time, we're not looking for the chance for winter weather. So there's not going to be any moisture behind it. We're going to dry out very quickly. The skies are going to clear. So we'll actually see a lot of sunshine on Saturday. Get out and enjoy it. I hope everyone enjoys their Valentine's Day no matter what you're doing. And I hope you feel loved in some way today. And I hope that you enjoy the weather, because it is going to be beautiful. I'll catch you guys here next time. Of course, we'll keep you posted on the rain and storms Thursday night into Friday. If anything changes, the forecast always can still evolve over the next couple of days. So we'll keep you posted both on air, online, and on Atlanta News First Plus, so all of our streaming services. Make it a wonderful Valentine's Day, everyone, and I'll catch you here next time.